Hello and welcome to the first day of the 2020 Makeshift Marblympics. Event number 1 is the long jump, a test of speed, precision and power. A great chance for us to get an early look at how these marbles might fare during this tournament. We've got 4 heats to bring you, and the top 2 from each heat will compete in the final. China gets us underway with the first jump of this competition. Of course, the long jump was invented in China in 3000 BC, so they should know what they're doing, and they register a 17.5. It's difficult to know whether that's any good because we've got nothing to compare it with, but that does make it a new world record, so it can't be bad. Ethiopia just shy of that with 17 1/8. Just to clarify, these measurements are being made in inches as per the ancient games. A very strong jump from Brazil, and they take the lead in this heat, clearing 18 inches as they do so. And finally, how will South Africa fit into the standings? They look a little sluggish on the approach, but plenty of power gives them a 17, just shy of Ethiopia, but lands them at the foot of this table. So Brazil and China, the first to book their place in the final. Now it's time to find out who will join them from Heat 2. First up, this Kenyan representative is very spherical, so we should see some good speed and a long flight. And it does look good. 19 inches, bang on. And it's going to take quite some jump to beat that. Can Vatican City find some divine inspiration? That's not a bad jump, but it's not going to trouble Kenya. 17.5. That was enough for China in the first heat, but it definitely leaves the door wide open for India or Australia to book their place in the final. Well, it's not going to be India. A really poor jump from them. 15 3/4 inches. They will not be happy with that. Can Australia capitalise on this golden opportunity? It looks pretty flat off the ramp, and that's another poor jump. In fact, quite possibly even worse than India. And confirmation there, 15 3/8 from Australia, leaves them rock bottom of this table. So once again, 17.5 is the magic number, but also definitely beatable. If this were the human Olympics, then this would be a really tough heat. Though that's not to say this will be easy. A really smooth run from Russia sets a high bar for this group. 18 is certainly beatable, but not many have done so thus far. What does Canada have to offer? It looks good, and it is good. An 18 3/4 sees them above Russia. USA have got their work cut out for them if they want to progress here. It looks good. I think it's going to be close. And it is close. Just 1/8 of an inch ahead of Russia, leaving them in second place as it stands, but with 1 left to go. Can Great Britain snatch qualification from the claws of USA? And it's a very good jump. In fact, I think the best so far. Yes, indeed. Great Britain records a 19 3/8 to go top of this group and qualify for the final, along with Canada. You may not realise this watching at home, but none of these marbles have knees, which of course makes it very difficult to jump. So to see some of the high numbers we have done so far is quite miraculous. And speaking of quite miraculous, Uzbekistan. Oh, I'd thought they'd broken that 20-inch barrier, but they've come as close as you can without. 19 7/8. Surely that won't be beaten. Certainly not by Tuvalu. A 17 leaves them hoping for a miracle of their own if they want to progress to the final. I've heard that Japan have been training on synthetic sand for this event. Let's see how they adapt to this Argos 15 kg children's play sand. Well, it doesn't seem to have caused them any problems, and they record an 18. A good jump, but judging by previous scores, they'll be waiting with bated breath to see how Colombia get on. And there was plenty of loft on that jump, and it's going to be very close here. 18 1/8. Colombia book their place in the final. Heartbreak for Japan, who narrowly miss out. But you must say both Uzbekistan and Colombia deserve their chance to compete for this gold medal. And here is the running order, well, the jumping order for the final. Brazil need to have nerves of glass as they roll up for the first jump of this final. And they seem to have risen to the occasion. They record 19 inches, that's an improvement on the jump from their heats, and a very good benchmark to set for the rest of them. Up next, Vatican City, the smallest country in the world. In fact, it's said that on a clear day, you can jump from one end of Vatican City to the other. Probably not if you're this marble though. Not a bad score, but you really need to be doing better than that at this stage of the competition. And something's gone horribly wrong for Kenya. That jump was just a bit too up and down. In fact, they've lost over an inch on their first jump, clearly lacking in the BGT department. Canada recorded a very good jump in the heats, but it looks as though they've fallen short as well. I don't know whether they used up too much energy in the first jump or if the occasion simply got to them. But either way, that's not how you're going to win medals at this tournament. Colombia stepped up under pressure in the heats, and they've stepped up here again under the pressure of the final. And that is what I call a long jump. 19.5 puts them into the lead. There are some strong competitors left to jump, but they'll be forgiven for setting their eyes on the podium already. In fact, that poor jump from China confirms that Colombia will be getting a medal. Not much height on that jump at all meant that they were always scrambling for inches. Here come the big boys. Can Uzbekistan repeat the heroics of the heats? They can, and they exceed it. They clear 20 inches this time. Phenomenal jumping from the Uzbekistanians. If anyone can beat that, it's Great Britain. They did very well in the heats, and they've done very well here. It's not quite enough to match Uzbekistan, but it is enough for the silver medal, and Her Majesty will be most amused. Congratulations to our medalists, Great Britain, Colombia, and especially to Uzbekistan, who win the first gold medal of these games. Each of our finalists will also be awarded points depending on where they finished. 12 points for first place, down to 1 point for 8th place. And these will go towards the roll-in total to determine who will win the 2020 Marblympic Games. Thank you for joining us. We hope to see you again tomorrow for our next event, swimming.